Hi, I'm Victoria, and this is Say It Anyway, a podcast about love, mental health, and saying what's really on your heart, even whenever it might be hard. Let's do this. We're back! So, guys, we're back, and y'all please bear with me because this week I have been so sick. Like, when I say so sick, I mean my mental capacity has been slim to none. Like, I have not wanted to do anything. If it wasn't for the fact that I needed medicine, so I needed to go to the store and get like medication and stuff like that, or I needed to take a midterm, so I had to get to campus. Baby, I promise you, I would have been bed rotting, doing nothing but watching TV with a cold towel on my head, some of them breathing strips across my nose, and some Vicks. Because I'm telling y'all, like, I just haven't wanted to do anything. Like, I barely got a little bit of homework done yesterday. Like, it took everything in me to even do that. Like, I felt like it just took so much energy to do even just that. Like, my appetite gone. Like, the thought of doing stuff has just like bothered me. Like, even the thought of doing something has just like overly blew me. Like, it has me like, ugh, this hurts. Like, why are you thinking about doing anything? You're tearing your mental apart. Like, it's been bad. Um, but we're still here. We're still thriving. We got God on our side, and He woke me up this morning, even if it meant I needed to be sick when I woke up this morning. I still woke up and was blessed with another day, and for that, we are forever thankful. So, guys, today we're going to talk about high functioning or having it all together or just trying. Um, and so being the strong one, like, we're gonna start, they kind of tie hand in hand, so I really don't know how to separate them, because having high functioning anxiety or depression or whatever the case may be, and having it all together and being the strong one, they kind of tie in, because like, being the strong one is kind of a part of high functioning, and it's kind of like a way to cope. um but they both can lead to burnout, which is why we need to talk about them. And we need to talk about how to lower them, I guess you could say, because it is good to have coping mechanisms, but not all coping mechanisms are healthy. And so, as far as being the strong one, um, being the strong one can look a lot of different ways for a lot of different people. Like, for me, it's being there. Like, it's always being there for somebody, even whenever my life feels like it is falling apart. Like, even when my life is falling apart, I still try my best to be there for people. Like, let's say, okay, a good example to use is one of the most recent deaths that's happened in my family. So, guys, I'm finna hit y'all with some dark humor, but just go with the flow, okay? Um, my grandpa, y'all, my dad's dad passed away the month of my birthday, right? He was on a cruise, y'all, and my granny calls me while I'm in the library, and she's just like, "Hey, have you talked to your dad? You need to check on him," and all this, that, and the third. Girl, what? I mean, like, obviously I'll call and check on my dad, but like, what's the point of this? Like, what you mean? You get what I'm saying? Like, sometimes when people hit you with the like, you need to check on this person, it's kind of like, huh? How are you? How are you doing? How am I doing? Like, So I'm kind of just waiting on her to get to the point. You know what I mean? And then she's like, your granddad just passed away on a cruise. Y'all, my heart stopped and I ran out of the library. Because what? Okay. But this same day, y'all, my grandparents on my mom's side was actually about to be on their way to the town that I was in the moment to help me find a car, right? High functioning, y'all. I'm still just trying to make it through. Like, okay, let's go look at this car. We're finna smile while we look at this car. We finna be happy because we're looking at a car. Deep down, y'all, my heart is shattered because, like, me and my grandpa weren't like super close because I really don't remember establishing a relationship with him until I was like 16. I don't know why that is. I ain't gonna blame nobody. Say it's because of my parents or nothing. I can't say why that is. I don't know why that is. I just know that I do not remember establishing a relationship with him until I was like 16. But let me tell y'all, when I turned 16, that relationship was established and it was bomb. Like, it was solid. You get what I'm saying? Like, this man calls at all times. He talked a lot, y'all. My granddaddy, my G daddy, definitely talked a lot. But he always made sure he called. He asked about everybody. He always checked in. I would always call and check in on him. And just, he would call, hey V, how you doing? All this kind of stuff. Cool. This is my granddaddy. I love him. So it's like, yeah, we might have not have been the closest. Like, I might have not have been as close with you as I could have been, but it still hurt. You get what I'm saying? And so my heart is shattered. But coming from the high functioning person that feels like I have to have it all together, I'm like, okay, we finna go try to get this car. We finna be happy. We finna, and slowing down just makes me feel lazy. And that's a part of having high functioning depression. I can't really speak for anxiety because I'm not an anxious person. I don't really get anxiety. But from a high functioning depression standpoint of view, slowing down can make you feel lazy and it can make you think. And in the part of this car buying process, obviously, there's times where the process slows down. So you're able to think, okay, we got to this process where it starts to slow down, and I was finally able to think, and all I could do was cry. And my grandma is just like, and finally I'm like, oh yeah, my G daddy just passed away, and she's like, honey, you out here trying to buy a car? What are you doing with your life? But that's part of me like coping. Like, to keep going is part of me coping. It kept my mind off of it. Like, yeah, I know it just happened, but like, we got to keep going. You know what I mean? Um, and so even after that, like, I went home by myself. I told my brother, of course, but I didn't stay with my brother at this moment. I stayed by myself. So I went home, and all I could do was lay around and not do anything. Uh, but I wanted to be the strong one, especially because even in this process, I cried what seemed like every 2 seconds. My mom was like, okay, but you gotta stop crying. Like, you gotta pull it together and stop crying. So, the strong one came out of me again. You gotta stop crying. You're not allowed to be sad. You're not allowed to be down. You have to have it all together. Even if you have to have it all together for your brother or your dad or whatever the case may be, you're not allowed to be sad. Like, sad is something that you can't be. And so I continued trying to be the strong one. But when I was at home alone, it was like breakdown after breakdown after breakdown because I'm finally able to think. Okay, let me tell y'all the stupid way that I was able to cope. Right. I was sitting down drinking some wine, and the first thing I tell myself is, oh my gosh, you want to know the worst thing your grandfather's ever done? And of course, I'm by myself. I'm like, what? He died on a cruise in another country, like 20 something days before your birthday, 21 to be exact. Y'all, why that was my thought process? I don't know. But I guess it helps me get through it. Like, but I was so busy trying to be strong for everybody else that I didn't know how to be strong for myself. And so it was just one of those, like, what am I supposed to do? Like, I guess all I can do is laugh because when you're there for everybody else, you're causing them to laugh. So maybe you gotta try to find the darkest way for you to laugh. Um, but being the strong friend also looks like being the therapist friend or family member, the one that they go to for everything. Like, literally everything. Like, when I say people come to me for everything, I'm talking, honey, if somebody's dog ran away, they would probably come talk to me about it. And I'm just gonna be there and be like, oh my gosh, I hate that for you. I mean, obviously on a deeper level than that. Like I'll actually talk to them about it. Like, oh well, I'll try to help you find this dog. Y'all, in reality, I don't like dogs. I really ain't even an animal person for real, unless it's reptiles. But dogs just aren't really my cup of tea. But I still be there. Like it's still one of those like I still have to be there for you. Uh, but also just that person for people to talk to. Like my friends, they always feel like they can lean on me. Like, oh, we can't talk to anybody. We could talk to Victoria, which is cool. But let me tell y'all, that can also cause a person to burn out too. That doesn't mean that you're a burden talking to that person. Because I promise you, nobody that comes and talks to me is a burden. But let me tell you, it is good to have a couple of those people, even if it's somebody you don't know. So let me tell y'all right now, 988. They say that it is a crisis hotline, but it could really be for anything. Like, I could be that person that you go to, but I promise you, at 3 in the morning, I am probably not about to answer my phone. Granted, I sleep with my watch on, but the moment that watch start ringing in the middle of the night, I hit it and it goes off. But let me tell y'all who will respond. 988. Regardless of what you need to talk about, 988 is always there. They're even there to answer even a minor question that you might have. You might even just be sad because you stomped your toe in the middle of the night, and I promise you, they are there to answer and they will talk to you. It is good to have somebody else. But I personally like being the therapist friend. I call it the therapist friend because that's how everybody looks at you, like the person everybody goes to. I don't mind being that person for people. I like being that person for people because I used to wish that I had that person. Personally, I feel like I don't necessarily trust people enough to talk to them about anything that I might go through. But I can say having someone that you can trust and knowing that I can be that person that people can trust makes me feel great. Like I love it. And I love that for not just me, but them. Because it's like, I'm glad that I'm able to open that door for that safe space that you're able to come to. Um, Stability. It also looks like stability. Like, we always feel like we have to be stable. Like, for instance, the situation that I spoke of with my grandpa, I felt like I gotta be the stable one. Like, somebody has to be stable here, so I guess that it has to be me. You know what I mean? Like, even though I'm breaking apart, I'm like down and out. Somebody gotta be stable. And if that person has to be me, I am always willing to take that punch. Um, But I think the biggest part that most people don't know that are the strong people or the one with the high functioning anxiety or depression that feels like they constantly have to keep going is that you have to allow yourself to break down. Like, you have to realize it is okay. And my point in short these short scenarios aren't really to just make light of the situations I've went through. It's more of to let y'all know you have to allow yourself to be vulnerable. You have to allow yourself to break down. It is okay. You do not always have to function at high levels. I don't always have to keep going. In that moment, it feels good. In that moment, I'm not having to think. In that moment, it's what's getting me through. But what will also get you through is realizing your emotions and standing on them. The only way to overcome these emotions is not letting them take over you. And when you start constantly going so that you're not having to think about it, they are taking over you. People feel like these emotions take over you when you get to that point where you break down, but that's not the truth. That's you taking over it because you're finally standing up. You're finally allowing yourself to stand in that. But when you're constantly going and you're constantly the ones that's there, the one that nobody's checking on because you seem perfectly fine when in reality you're not perfectly fine, you're like losing it. But because you're the one that's always there for everybody, and you're the one always checking on everybody, and you're the one that's still going, and you're the one that's always wanting to do this or that, you're the one that's always there, they feel like you're the one that's fine. That's not always the one that's fine. Sometimes that's the one that's breaking the most, but they're trying to hide it the most. You have to allow yourself room to just let go. Letting go is not a bad thing. And letting go can just involve self-care. Like, letting go doesn't always mean breaking down crying or losing your mind or whatever the case may be. Letting go could just be like, you know, standing in it. Hey, I'm going to do for myself today. Like, it seems like I'm doing for myself when I'm constantly trying to find something to do because it stops me from thinking. But no, the way that we're going to do for ourselves today is taking that chill day. Like, we're going to take the time to allow this time to process. Yes, it gives that time, it gives all those emotions time to creep in, but when they're creeping in, it allows you to process them rather than immediately shut them down. And you have to allow yourself to be able to do that. You have to give yourself time to be you, time to feel. We're human. Our emotions cannot be turned off. I love like the Vampire Diaries, the originals, and shows like that. But let me tell you, in reality, I am no vampire. I cannot turn off my humanity as much as I wish that I could. I can't. I'm human. You're human. We're all human. We're going to feel the things that we feel, and they're going to be heightened at times. But we have to figure out ways to get ourselves through them. Whether that's talking to somebody, taking time to yourself, or just finally being you. I feel like one of the easiest ways to allow yourself to help you or develop a self-care routine is being you. Trying to satisfy everybody else isn't always going to satisfy you. Like, some people might look at self-care as um always going to get their nails done because people are telling them they should because they're a woman. But if that's not you, then it's really not doing anything to help you because that's not who you are. You're not somebody who always wants to go get your nails done. You're probably somebody that always wants to go shoot a basketball in a hoop. My bad, I started getting lost for words. Um, you're probably somebody that wants to always go shoot a basketball through a hoop. And not all the time can you have long nails doing that. I would know. They might break easily. So going to get your nails done might not help you. It might be going to the nearest court, going to the nearest gym. That might be what helps you. You have to do what helps you, not what helps everybody else. What's self-care to one person is not self-care to all. You have to develop your own routine of self-care. Because personally, I can say sometimes I tell myself, oh, I'm going to have a self-care day and I'm going to go get my nails done. In which, don't get me wrong, I love to get my nails done. They're not done right now, but they need to be. I love to get my nails done. But not all the time is that necessarily self-care to me. That's just a typical maintenance day to me. Sometimes self-care to me is going and hitting the gym. And not all the time can I have long nails when I'm trying to hit the gym. Or self-care to me might be going and kicking around a soccer ball. Not always is it going to get a massage. So it just looks different for different people. And it also looks different for different people in different phases of life. Because there are times when self-care for me does look like going to get my nose done or going to get a massage. I've done both before for a self-care day. But that's not all the time. You have to know you in order to step foot in what's best for you. And sorry, having high functioning anxiety or depression isn't always the best coping mechanism. It feels good in that moment because it's keeping us going. It's keeping us without our mind racing on whatever is harming us right then or whatever we're going through right then. But it's not always the best coping mechanism because, again, it's not helping us focus on that self-care to get us through. It seems cool in the moment, but it's not always cool in the long run because it can cause burnout. Burnout is one of the most serious things somebody can go through. Burnout can look as small as being lazy and wanting to lay around to literally not being able to think or losing focus to even becoming ill. Like, people don't realize it, but you can get sick from being so burnt out. Like, it can take that much of a toll on you. Because you're constantly going, sometimes you're not getting the nutrients that you need. Or sometimes you're not getting the rest that your body needs. That can cause a huge toll on people's lives. So for everybody out there who is that high functioning person who feels like they're the person that has to have it all together, that is okay. It's okay to have it all together sometimes. It's okay to be that person. It's okay to be the strong friend, the strong family member, the strong person in people's lives. It's okay to be the person that people go to. But the biggest importance within stuff like that is also being there for yourself. And after this episode, I just hope that those people that go through high functioning traits or are so used to being the strong friend, the strong family member, the one that's there for everybody, just realizes that it is okay to break down. Sometimes you need a break. You need to take that break. You need to recognize your own symptoms. You need to recognize when you yourself are overwhelmed and starting to get burnt out in order to even continue to help people. And for those on the outside looking in, you have to realize that the one that seems like they have it all together because they're there for everybody doesn't always have it all together. You have to check on that person too. They deserve to be checked on and loved just like the person that's clearly going through it. Sometimes some people are just able to mask it more than others. And I really hope that y'all enjoyed this episode with me. I know that it was all over the place. I was kind of trying to ramble through it so that I wouldn't start dying of coughs in the middle of the episode. So, again, I'm glad that y'all bared with me. I'm glad that y'all tuned in. I hope y'all have a good rest of the day. We're doing it.